Good morning. It's Vijay here. Today is Wednesday, 23rd October 2024. I think the bulls or investors or bullish traders would have had a sleepless night yesterday looking at the big fall across the board. Yesterday, I had made a podcast which titled something about should we buy when there is blood on the streets, even if it is yours. So today, let's talk about a little bit on that, whether we should be really buying, whether we are in a bear market, or what should we do. So typically, if you look at what a bear market is, the bear market, when you have a of about 5%, it's called a pullback. If you have a 10% fall, then it's called a correction. And if you have a 20% fall, then it's called a bear market. This is a traditional definition. There are no hard and fast rules. What if it's 19% or what if it's 21%? For instance, in 21-22, Nifty fell 18%, but it looked like a very severe bear market. That time, the Bank Nifty just fell only by 20%. But stocks across the board, about 40% of the stocks had lost about 50% from their highs. So they were technically in what we call a recession. So you have 5% a pullback, 10% correction, 20% bear market. The 35% is called crash, and 50% is recession. Only under recessionary conditions you will get that kind of a fall. So where are we yesterday? When Nifty has only corrected about 7%, same thing with Bank Nifty, same thing with the other indices. But the top, the 2,700 companies out of the 600, which are completely both NSE and BSE, they are down more than 25%. So which means they have entered a bear market. 45% of this market, entire market, is now technically in a bear market. I've talked of which are down more than 25%. Actually, it will be much more than that. So who are the leaders? Z Limited, so it's gone into recession. Spark, gone into recession. Cochin Shipyard, grounded completely. Maharashtra Seamless, about to be going into recession. MRPL, Credit Access Grameen, Sirma, Dani is there. Total Gas, completely gasified. Alok Industries, RBL Bank, Network, Hudco, Equitas, Titagar, MTC, and so on and so forth. So I have put a list of those stocks which are good and which are doing very badly as far as the stock markets are concerned. Look at IRCON, IRCON is touching 40, J&K Bank, Hindustan Zinc. Hindustan Zinc is in the news because silver prices are going up. IFCI is there, Manappuram is there, Garden Reach again grounded. Then you have IIFL, Union Bank, which has come out with good results, but nothing is helping it. UCO Bank, Bank of India. So Railtel, which is one of the railway stocks which I used to talk about, stay away from RDX, which is Railway Defense and Space. That is their Infibeam, a good company. We hold it. It's down by 34%. Luckily, we are not bought at the highest, but this is from 52-week high I'm talking about. Then you have Irida, which is again a popular stock. Birlasoft, which we held at one point of time. NHPC, and so on and so forth. So I have a Maharashtra Bank also is about 30%. So this is a long list of good stocks which are doing very poorly. So let's say you want to be a fresh investor or you want to add on to your average, as they call it, into your investment. While I'm not a SEBI registered advisor, I would like to look at these kind of stocks and then look at what their prospects are and then select from this kind of a list. Because you see, everybody talks of buying on decline, but people do not buy on declines. They get fear, they get afraid. And if you look at the social media yesterday on my timeline, I looked at my various threads. Every single these furus, as we call them, the financial gurus, they said we had identified this. We knew it will be a bear market. It will go down further. So at best, you put in only a little bit of money, and the bear market will last for a year, and you will see 23,000, and you will see even below 21,000, which we saw on the election results day, and so on and so forth. Just a month back, they were talking of 28,000, 30,000. Last month, we had 26,200 as our top. So that's how people change. So no advisor can help you because finally you are the best judge because it's your money. All I can do is here just point out that how people change like chameleons. Even chameleons will blush because the way they change, and they talk of having identified it. If they have if they've all identified it, then all of them would have been richer than Warren Buffett. And there's just one Warren Buffett who buys on declines, who selects the stock and holds on to it if he's convinced. The market movements are temporary. Surely stocks are still overvalued. They don't deserve those prices, but surely there are also bargains which one can, one can view it, and then you decide what you want to do. Your financial advisor will help you out. So yesterday, mid-cap selling was intense. Most of the indices fell about 3%, 3 to 4%. Yesterday, I think, was the day when, after a long time, that is, I think the last time we saw this kind of a selling was somewhere in March, when the SEBI chief warned that we are in a bubble. Then all the stocks just fell 30, 40% that time. But people have forgotten about it. Of course, on the election result day, it fell, but that was only for a day. And I don't know whether it will be for a day here, but it doesn't matter. Once you're looking at a particular stock, do not worry about the index. At least I don't worry about the index. So therefore, so we should not really get concerned too much on what is happening as far as the index is concerned. So broad-based selling was there. Nifty breached 24,500. Interestingly, just one stock was in the green from Nifty. That was ICICI Bank. Then all the rate-sensitive stocks fell more than 3%. PSU down. Sensex was down close to 1,000 points. Mid-cap index 1,500 points from the high. So if you look at this, you will know that things are not that good at all. We're not good at all yesterday. So City Union Bank was the one bank which reported very good results, and it surged about 13%. Hyundai opened. It was not a great listing, but I suspect Hyundai will find its real level in the next few days. That's an interesting thing to watch for. What did FIs and DIS do? The way market fell, FIs should have sold about 10,000 crores, but they ended up selling less than 4,000 crores. Actually, DIS more than matched and bought about close to 6,000 crores. As I keep telling you that before Deepavali, generally you will have markets which are dull. One can never predict as to how dull they are. But today we are seeing an important move, which despite institutions buying, net institution buying, you are seeing selling. I suspect it is the weak bulls, especially in the mid cap, small cap, micro cap, which have lost hope, and they are selling left, right, center. This is not helping. What is from Goldman Sachs? They have underweight equities. They have downgraded India from neutral to overweight. So this morning, this will be the talk of the town, and therefore you will probably see some selling coming in the first half of the session. What happened globally? Europe closed more or less flat. Dow Jones opened about 250 points lower and crawled way back and made it to flat line. S&P also had this same problem, over 30 points down, but it closed at flat. And Nasdaq also 150 points and then closed slightly in the positive. Commodities, Brent went up, hit 76. Now it is below that. And gold hit an all-time high. Silver hit $35. It is a 12-year high, and I've been talking about silver, and I'm talking about silver being the next gold. In our own portfolios, we hold anywhere between 30 to 50%. In one of the portfolios, the weightage of silver is 50% and gold is 50%. But most of the other portfolios, we hold at least 30%, 70% in stocks. So what are we supposed to watch today in terms of earnings? We have got big earnings today: Bajaj Finserv, HUL, SBI Life Insurance, and Asian Paints. Among the other companies, we also have KPIT, which should be interesting, TVS Motor, Karnataka Bank, and IIFL Finance, Thyrocare. So a wide swathe of earnings. Today, you will have nothing much happening globally. About the economic survey and all is being, listed for record. IMF has retained India growth forecast at 7%. And the FY26 GDP, they are looking at 6.5%. So therefore, they are globally also, they have kept they have maintained their forecast at about 3.2, but they have reduced it by 10 basis points actually. But by and large, it's more or less the same. Retail inflation, they're expecting 4.4 and 4.1 in 25 and 26. RBI's target is 4. So RBI may want to look at easing the situation in their December policy. The disinvestment has started, and now with IDBI Bank, it looks like Kotak Bank could be one of the suitors for the IDBI Bank stake. So IMF, okay, this is IMF is over. So therefore, we are where we are today, and I'm sure there will be a lot of gloom and doom. All I can say is this is not new. This drop in the indices, drop in stocks is not new. I talked of a stealth bear market 2 weeks ago, and that has come to fruition. And I don't think that heavens will fall, especially on good stocks. There are a number of other stocks still which need, I think, a bigger correction. But the large cap stocks, especially in the banking sector, especially the private sector banks, I think are interesting to look at and buy into them. So net, I am still hopeful. I continue to be hopeful because history has said that around Deepavali you will find a drop between 10 and 15 days before Deepavali, and that's exactly what seems to be playing to the script. So also history suggests that 80% of the time between Deepavali and Pongal, the market goes up. So that is what I'm anticipating, because I think we may have some issues now for the next 2-3 days. I don't know whether it will be next 2-3 days or maybe even a week. But at the end of the day, if we are standing on Muhurat trading, I personally think that we should have a good period between Muhurat and Pongal in line with the 80% strike rate. So whatever you do, I hope it is successful. Thank you for joining me.